You know, the United States is a land of just incredible contrasts. Nature has sculpted some of the most spectacular landscapes on the entire planet here. But these places aren't just pretty pictures, they're storytellers. Every canyon, every mountain, every desert tells a tale of immense power and almost unimaginable lengths of time. So today, we're going to decode that story, the one written by the Earth itself.
To really get a feel for the kind of diversity we're talking about, let's just start with an absolute extreme. This is Death Valley. It's a place so hot, so desolate, that it ranks among the most scorching environments on the planet. I mean, the air literally shimmers, the ground cracks under your feet, and life just hangs on by a thread.
Okay, now let's do a complete 180. We're gonna jump all the way north to Alaska. And there, you'll find a landscape completely dominated by ice. In fact, Alaska is home to more glaciers than the rest of the United States combined. So you go from blistering heat to these frozen rivers of ice. That's the incredible range we're exploring. But what in the world creates these extremes?
Well, it all starts deep, deep underground with the planet's own internal fire. Volcanic and geothermal activity, that's a fundamental force of creation. It's this powerful engine that shapes the land from below with just immense heat and pressure. And there is nowhere more obvious than Yellowstone. The entire park, literally the whole thing, sits on top of what's called a supervolcano. Now, this isn't your typical cone-shaped mountain. No. It's a massive, restless chamber of magma deep beneath the Earth's crust, and it is the power source for everything we see on the surface. And what a surface it is. This shows you exactly how that underground energy just bursts out. You've got the clockwork eruptions of Old Faithful. You've got the stunning rainbow-like colors of the Grand Prismatic Spring, which are actually painted by tiny, heat-loving bacteria. And you even get these bizarre flowing stone terraces at Mammoth Hot Springs, where hot water deposits minerals that build up over time, kind of like wax dripping from a giant candle. It's a direct window into the Earth's fiery heart.
And that fire doesn't just reshape land, it actually creates it. On Hawaii's Big Island, the Kilauea volcano is continuously pouring molten rock right into the Pacific Ocean. And when that lava hits the water, it just explodes in this massive cloud of steam and instantly solidifies, literally building the island bigger, inch by inch, right before our eyes.
So, from the violent, creative force of fire, we move to a totally different set of tools. If fire is the fast and furious artist, then you can think of water and ice as the patient, persistent sculptors. They work over millions of years, just carving, grinding, and reshaping the Earth's crust with this relentless power.
Now, what's really interesting here is how they work differently. A river, that's focused energy. It's like a narrow, fast-moving tool that cuts deep, creating those steep, V-shaped walls you see in the Grand Canyon. A glacier, though, that's broad energy. It's a massive, slow-moving sheet of ice that acts like sandpaper on a continental scale, grinding the entire landscape wide to form the iconic U-shaped valley of a place like Yosemite. And sometimes, that water power is just catastrophic. This place is called Dry Falls in Washington. It's just a cliff now, but during the last ice age, it was the site of a waterfall that would absolutely dwarf anything we know today. I mean, to put it in perspective, it was 5 times wider and nearly twice as tall as Niagara Falls. It's almost impossible to imagine the sheer force that thundered over that cliff. And of course, we can't forget the ocean. Along coastlines like Kauai's stunning Napali coast, the constant, pounding force of the waves acts like a liquid chisel. It just hammers away, exploiting any weakness in the rock to carve out these incredible cathedral-like sea caves, many of which you can only get to by boat. But not all of nature's tools are so, well, obvious. Some of its most mysterious and beautiful works are created by the subtle, patient forces of wind and time, especially out in the vast, dry landscapes of the American West. Which brings us to a classic desert mystery. For decades, nobody could figure this out. How were these huge rocks in Death Valley, some weighing hundreds of pounds, sliding across the flat, muddy ground of the racetrack playa? They were leaving these long trails behind them, and it just seemed impossible.
Well, the solution, it turns out, isn't one single force, but a perfect combination of events. So first, a rare rainstorm leaves a thin sheet of water. Then, a cold night freezes that water into these huge, thin panes of ice that trap the rocks. And finally, a steady wind comes along and pushes on these massive ice sails, which then drag the heavy rocks along the slippery mud underneath. A perfect and perfectly natural explanation.
This kind of incredible patience is also on display in Utah, which has the highest concentration of natural stone arches on Earth.
These things weren't created overnight. No way. They're the result of millions of years of wind and water slowly wearing away at these fins of sandstone, leaving behind these delicate, breathtaking structures.
So, we've got these landscapes forged by fire, carved by ice, and polished by wind. But you know, they aren't just geological museums. They are the canvas upon which an incredible diversity of life has found a way to not just survive, but to truly thrive. Take the ancient rolling Appalachian Mountains. Here, scientists have documented over 19,000 different species in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park alone. That is one of the most biodiverse places in the entire temperate world, a real testament to how life flourishes in these old, stable landscapes. And that adaptation takes on so many amazing forms. You've got the largest living things on Earth, the giant sequoias, that grow only on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada. You have thriving underwater kelp forests off the California coast. Even on the salty islands of the Great Salt Lake, you'll find huge herds of American bison. And it's not just plants and animals. Ancient Puebloan people adapted brilliantly, building entire communities directly into the protective alcoves of canyon walls.
And ultimately, that's what these places give us. They aren't just scenery. They tell the epic story of our planet, a story of its violent birth, its patient transformation, and its truly endless capacity for breathtaking beauty. You see, these grand forces have shaped every single part of the world, including the place you call home. The story of fire, water, wind, and time is written in the hills, the rivers, and the coastlines all around us. So the real question is, what natural stories are waiting to be discovered right outside